that have taken place in the country during the past few days. Sir, this also speaks of my respect for this House, which indeed should command all the... It is really unfortunate that the former Prime Minister in his wisdom failed to pay due recognition to the dignity of this House. During his 30 months rule, he hardly visited the Senate, and that too for a few minutes. I assure you, sir, you will see more of me and more often. Mr. Chairman, sir, let no one underestimate the gravity of the situation that is confronting this nation today. The challenge is formidable. It needs all the wisdom, sagacity and the far-sightedness of the nation to cope with it. Yet, I have full faith in the capability of our people of Pakistan. I have full trust in their determination and resolve, and have surmounted insurmountable problems before, and inshallah they will surely do it again. I have no doubt about that in my mind. The critical role has thus to be played by the political leadership of this country. They have to rise above petty politics and cheap popularity for the sake of supreme national interests. Any wrong step can throw us in the abyss of humiliation, disgrace and misery. If tackled wisely, the situation could bring us out as a much united and stronger nation, both democratically and politically. The entire world is watching us, sir. Our friends are looking at us with high expectations, but foes are waiting for us to fail. Let us not disappoint our friends, nor please our enemies. And above all, let us not fail the people of Pakistan. Let us give them what they want: honor, dignity, and a free and fair election as promised by the President. Mr. Chairman, sir, this august House is the permanent signpost of our people's aspirations. It is the flagship for the protection and promotion of our democratic values and traditions. Let the sunshine of hope and better future spread out from the Senate to every nook and corner of the country, so that the faces of our people become radiant with happiness and satisfaction. Every member of this enlightened House, every member of this House is an enlightened person. Every one of them is a person of immense wisdom and sagacity. I have full faith and confidence that every one of you will play his and her role in helping the nation to face the challenge effectively and successfully. Mr. Chairman, the rampant maladministration, corruption and nepotism of the outgoing government has made the life of a common man miserable. A few coteries of those in power were reaping all the benefits of economic reforms that should have actually trickled down to the masses. It is unfortunate that the process of privatization lacked transparency, and it is rumored that gross irregularities were committed in the disposal of public property. The public funds and assets were massively wasted and dissipated at the cost of the national exchequer. The deficit, financing and indebtedness, both domestic and international, continue to rise at an alarming pace, adversely affecting the national interests, including defense. Sir, the provincial autonomy was grossly encroached upon, and constitutional institutions created to demarcate and define the executive and legislative authority between the federation and province were constantly bypassed. It is said that the cabinet was most often not taken into confidence in the legislative and policy-making decisions, but were only taken by a coterie of the ex-prime ministers. The political opponents of the government were made targets of reign of terror. It is very shameful that even the media persons were not spared and were victimized. Let me repeat this again, sir, with your permission. The political opponents of the government were made targets of a reign of terror. It is very shameful that even the media persons were not spared and were victimized. The government resources and agencies were misused for political ends as well as for personal glorification and gains. The civil servants, Mr. Speaker, sir, against their will, were turned into personal retainers and the coterie and compelled to carry out orders without regards to rules and regulations. Regrettably, the ex-Prime Minister turned a deaf ear to wise counsel and continued with his unconstitutional, unlawful and irregular actions. Despite repeated advices, he did not bother to come up with any concrete measures to resolve the grave internal and international problems confronting the country. Mr. Chairman, sir, our external relations deteriorated without receiving full attention of either the Chief Executive or his colleagues. Inflation was rampant, with the government borrowing touching an all-out high. The ordinary man was reeling under unbearable price hike. No concrete measures were taken to address the massive unemployment. In fact, a ban was camped even on the few government jobs available to the people. Law and order was allowed to deteriorate. Mr. Chairman, in his speech on April the 17th, the former Prime Minister chose to divert the people's attention by making false and malicious allegations against the President of Pakistan, who is not only the head of the state, but also represents the unity of the Republic and is the supreme commander of the armed forces. The autocratic methods of the ex-Prime Minister resulted in mass resignations of members of the opposition and of considerable number from the Treasury benches, including several ministers from the National Assembly, thereby stripping this elected institution of the people's confidence and necessitated a fresh mandate for the masses, from the masses. Mr. Chairman, my mandate is quite clear. We are a caretaker government. We are here for a specific purpose and duration. Our first and foremost task is to hold free, fair and impartial elections on the due date. We are determined to discharge our responsibilities in this regard honorably, inshallah. We will spare no effort to fulfill our commitment to the nation and to the satisfaction of every Pakistani, so that we may be able to restore the confidence and the faith of the people in this government. My government and colleagues will not put restrictions on any legitimate political activities. And without any discrimination, every political party and individual will be free to propagate their manifestos and programs. We would rather facilitate their task within the bounds of law. We will take all necessary measures to make the process of elections transparent and credible. Nothing will be left out to ensure free, fair and impartial elections. Mr. Chairman, sir, but we also expect the political parties and their leaders that they too adhere to the democratic traditions and respect the law. While they will be free to publicize their manifestos, we will not tolerate any attempt on the part of anyone to propagate against Islam or the integrity of the country or against the armed forces. I would like to repeat this again, Mr. Chairman, sir, with your permission. But we will also expect the political parties and their leaders that they too would adhere to the democratic traditions and respect the law. While they will be free to publicize their manifestos, we will not tolerate any attempts on the part of anyone to propagate anything against Islam or the integrity of the country or against the armed forces. Nor would we permit anybody to disrupt law and order in the country. We want total peace and tranquility to prevail in this country. We hope the political leaders would cooperate with us so that the people of Pakistan could express their verdict freely without any fear or apprehension. Mr. Chairman, sir, the business of the Federation must continue. The nation has to continue to live. It cannot go into hibernation. We will therefore see to it that normal activity in every sphere of life goes on without any interruption or hindrance. Sir, we will neither put a brake on the economic measure put underway by the previous government. I would like to emphasize this once again, that our government will neither put a brake on the economic measures put underway by the previous government, nor will we disregard the obligations of the previous government of Pakistan incurred under those measures. We will honor all constructual obligations. We will continue pursuing with greater speed and transparency the policy of liberal deregulation, investment and privatization. We will take all the necessary measures to eliminate corruption, commissions and kickbacks in the economic deals and spare no effort to keep the budget deficit within limits. If any honorable member has any information, if anybody is taking any kickbacks or unnecessary advantages, they can always come to me and inform me, and I assure them that I will take strict action. As regards our relations with foreign countries, we will pursue with more vigor and effectiveness the traditional policy of Pakistan of forging friendship with all and enmity against none. Our foreign policy will flow from our national interests. It will strive to accomplish our national objectives and goals. We will use all available forums to impress upon India to resolve the outstanding issue of Kashmir that has bedeviled relations between our two countries since long. We abhor violence. We condemn every kind of terrorism, and we would not permit our soil to be used by anyone to spread violence in other countries.
Action.
In its history, trials and tribulations are not reserved for any particular nation. They are an integral part of life of a human being as much as of a nation. But glorious are those who face the decisive moments with determination and resolve. The people of Pakistan have always faced the challenge squarely, and every time they have come out successfully. Inshallah, this time too, we Pakistanis will live up to their past tradition. Thank you very much.
Debate on the privilege motion. The next honourable member is Khwaja Mohammad Asif Sir. Raja Asif Sahab hain? Khwaja Asif Sir. जो हमारा फायदा है उसके मुताबिक उसको रेलवे में नहीं लाया जा सकता, उसका कोई और मौका होगा। आज मेहरबानी करके सर स्टेटमेंट को इर्रिवर्सिबल नहायत ही मुदल्लल अंदाज में प्रेसिडेंट साहब के
ट्रायल कोर्ट्स बनाई थी, अगर उसमें चली जाएं तो इवन बेटर होगा। जान छूट जाती है उनकी भी, अब ये अब 3-3 साल चल पड़ते हैं। दैट्स दिस एंटायरली अप टू द आफ्टर।
नवाज शरीफ साहब ने डिमांड किया कि प्रोविंशियल असेंबलीज करप्ट हैं, इनको तोड़ दिया।
आई एम वेरी हैप्पी टू नो दैट ही हैज रियलाइज्ड इट नाउ। जी,
आर यू गोइंग टू एग्री विद दिस डिमांड सर?
क्या
यू एग्री विद दिस डिमांड?
मैंने तो यही कहा था कि उन्होंने ये फरमाया है कि नवाज शरीफ साहब हैज रियलाइज्ड नाउ that the provincial assemblies are corrupt. मैंने कहा it's good that he has realized it now.
But what are you going to do about the assemblies, sir? Are you?
वो मैंने पहले कहा हुआ constitution, whatever the constitution permits us, we'll do according to that.
Sir, but there is the one view is that there is a deadlock in government right now because there are differences of opinion between yourself and Ms. Bhutto, and this is leading to
not to my
crisis.
Not to my knowledge.
Because she's still demanding that these assemblies ought to be dissolved.
You see, we are all of some political party. One political party may say something, one may say, because this is what they feel. This may be a part of it. But when we are in a coalition, we'll all decide things according to what the consensus is.
But are you concerned that this is going to lead to a split, or
no,
are you confident
not
that
at all.
you'll
I'm
stay
quite
together?
confident. I'm quite confident. Inshallah.
That you'll stay together?
Inshallah, जब तक वो elections होंगे, हम इकट्ठे रहेंगे, and we'll fight the elections jointly, free and fair, without any interference from anybody. जी sir. Anything else?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Maybe आपने कुछ करना है क्या? Thank you.